Boris Johnson seeks mega oil deal with Saudis to replace Russian energy. Boris Johnson is poised to travel to Saudi Arabia this week to broker a deal on oil as he attempts to move the UK away from dependence on energy supplies from Russia. The Prime Minister is expected to head to the kingdom in the coming days for a meeting with Mohammed bin Salman. It comes as fuel prices at the pumps have reached record levels, topping £1.60 a litre for petrol and £1.70 for diesel, according to the RAC's latest figures. Although Downing Street insists the trip is not finalised or confirmed, Mr Johnson is facing calls from Tory MPs to intervene to urge the Saudis to release more oil. The Crown Prince is said to have snubbed a request from Joe Biden to have a call on the issue of oil supply, as the West tries to wean itself off Russian fossil fuels. But Mr Johnson is believed to have a better relationship with bin Salman than the US president, whose links have been strained since the killing of dissident journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The PM and Crown Prince discussed energy cooperation on a call last month. An increase in Saudi production or releasing reserves could have a significant impact in keeping fuel prices down in the UK, which had been spiking amid the standoff with Russia. Any diplomatic mission by Mr Johnson would be highly controversial because of the country's human rights record. On Saturday, Saudi Arabia announced that it executed 81 men, including 7 Yemenis and 1 Syrian, for terrorism and other offenses including holding deviant beliefs in the biggest mass execution in decades. News of the potential trip comes as Rishi Sunak faces growing demands for action to ease the pressure on families as prices at the pump and energy bills rocket. Although Britain buys very small quantities from Moscow, it is still exposed to spiraling costs on the international wholesale markets. The Chancellor is expected to hold off on major action to ease the impact of soaring energy bills in a spring statement next week. Instead, he is expected to focus on support for universal credit, while Mr Johnson will lay out a wider energy strategy as soon as this week. The public finances have been hammered by COVID, and so far Mr Sunak has announced council tax rebates for many properties and a £200 loan to cut energy bills this autumn. However, the repayments are being added to bills over the following 5 years. Russia is the world's largest oil exporter and the second largest exporter of crude oil after Saudi Arabia, and while it is still trading both, the threat to supply has sent prices soaring. Petrol pump prices in the US are at a historic high and UK petrol prices are rising at their fastest rate in 13 years. Russia exports about 5 million barrels of oil a day. Saudi Arabia has about 2 million barrels a day worth of spare capacity and the United Arab Emirates 1 million a day. If Mr Johnson is able to persuade the Saudis, who have remained neutral over the Ukrainian crisis, to play ball, then the extra capacity would go a long way towards negating the reliance on Russia. Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.